ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the June 7th, 2016 Chino City Council meeting. Would you please rise and join me in the flag salute? It's over there, Glenn. Excuse me. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, folks. Have a seat. Under ceremonials, we have the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for June. The winner this month is Mark and Dorothy Johnson, living on Van Buren Street, and they're touring or on vacation. And so accepting for the Johnsons' behalf is their daughter, Megan, and Megan's aunt and uncle, Judy and Lou, here to accept the award. Why don't you come back this way a little bit here? We have some stuff for them. Yeah. This is a certificate, Mayor's Home Beautification Award for Mark and Dorothy. I want to thank them for their continued improvement and maintenance of their home, resulting in substantial contribution to the overall appearance of our community. I'd like to present that to them.
Thank you.
They call you sis? No. Okay. We have a picture. We have a picture of your folks' home. It's beautiful. It should be on the screen, but I don't see it. Nope. We're batting 1,000. And you even got a little cert from our county supervisor, Kurt Hagman, which reads Certificate of Recognition awarded to Mark and Dorothy in honor of receiving the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for the month of June 2016. We have a pencil set, Chino type. We have 2 lapel pins like I'm wearing. There's still more. Oh, there it is. We'd like them to put this in their yard, declare them the winner for June 2016. What happens is all the winners for this year, next year at the Mayor's State of the City, we'll pick a winner for 2016. We'll invite those people to a luncheon, and we give them an extra little stuff from Home Depot, and it's quite nice. Yeah, so do you know who's doing the yard work and keeping it up so nice?
Mark Johnston.
Mark's doing all the work?
My brother-in-law does all the
all of
work.
it.
He refuses to hire a gardener.
Good. Well, does Mama give him any directions?
Yes, all the time.
She's all, yeah. Well, obviously, he does a great job. Yeah. I can see where he probably doesn't. It doesn't look like no gardener did that.
Nope.
He's very particular.
Very
or your
meticulous.
Mom's very particular how he does it.
He's meticulous about the grass. He treats it as his own soccer field.
Well, you tell him for me, he's doing a great job.
We will.
And to keep it up, this enhances the neighborhood.
We will. Thank you.
And I want to thank you for coming and accepting it for him.
Thank
Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you. Okay. Under public communications, I have a request from Karen Burr of Higher Ground Church to lead us in the invocation. Come forward, Karen. Would you all please rise to those that would like to participate?
Good evening, council, staff, and Chinoans. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Oh God, we bless you and we honor you in this meeting place. We thank you for your protection and your presence among us. We thank you for each and every member of the City Council, the staff, employees, and volunteers of the City of Chino. We pray for their continued protection and unity in the affairs of the city. We ask you, God, to bless them, their families, and their constituents with health and favor. We ask you to bless and protect every city agency, church, and home in our city. We thank you for your divine intervention for us. Lord, concerning tonight's agenda, we pray for wisdom and direction in the adopting of the ordinance of voting districts and for the ratifying of the community service commissioners and board members. Help us, Lord, to be unified in these areas and also for the rest of the agenda items. We pray, Lord God, that your kingdom come and your will would be done on earth as it is in heaven, even here in the city of Chino and in our nation. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Karen. Have a seat, folks. I have a couple of written requests. Jason Czar. You got to practice your penmanship.
I do. I'll just type up a bundle
Plus, my
of
eyes are failing. So,
Well, good evening, Mr. Mayor and council and staff. Thank you for the time. I just wanted to give a brief update on a couple of Chamber of Commerce activities we have between now and the next City Council meeting. The first is tomorrow morning. We have a presenter named Kat Shepard coming in to talk about low-cost and free options for website design to help businesses get a kickstart on their internet presence. The following week, we're going to have Tammy Roush from the fairgrounds come out to talk about Chino Day at the LA County Fair, which is, I've seen kind of a preview of that presentation at Kiwanis. It's very interesting, should be something to look forward to for all of us. And that's going to be our first meeting at our new home at University Hall. So as always, we're very grateful to the city for cooperation and partnership in helping us to find a place to put on the Business at Breakfast. Finally, on the 16th, we're going to have our mixer at Core Real Estate Services here in Chino, and that's going to be a really good time. I'm told they put on this mixer about once a year and always throw a really good party, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone there. Thank you very much.
thank you. Appreciate the information. Next is Melissa Campani from Supervisor Kurt Hagman's office. Melissa?
Well, good evening, Mayor Yates and Mayor Pro Tem Ulola, council members and staff. I'm here tonight representing our County Supervisor, Kurt Hagman of the 4th District, and I wanted to invite the public. We have an event coming up. The event is going to be held on Thursday, July the 21st, and it is going to be the active shooter training event. This is a very interesting event, and it is actually sponsored by the Chino Police Department, the Chino Valley Fire District, and the Department of Justice. It's going to be an interesting evening. We have a presentation by the FBI and their InfraGard program, in addition to some active training for people who are interested in finding out what to do if they were ever in this situation. We do ask that we get RSVPs. We are limited to 150 RSVPs. So we are asking that the RSVPs are made by July the 14th. And it's very easy to do. We're going with Eventbrite. This is a free event. However, we do need people to register, and it's really under Hagman's Active Shooter Seminar.eventbrite.com. And of course, you can always call our office if you'd like some more information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate the update. That's all the written requests I have. Is there anybody in the audience wishing to address a council on any item that does not appear on the agenda? Is that Carol sitting out there? Carol, how are you? Good to see you. What was I doing? Carol got me off my train of thought there. Got me either. Okay, seeing none, I'll close public communication. Next is the consent calendar. Anybody wishing to pull an item for discussion can do so now. If not, I would entertain a motion. It's moved by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Councilman Howie. Please vote. Item passes 4 with 1 absent, that being Councilman Elrod. Item 13, public hearing. Prior to the vote of the City Council, any member of the audience will have the opportunity to address the council on any items listed under public hearing. You are reminded you have 5 minutes for your presentation. Now, under item 13, this is the time and place set for the duly noticed public hearing regarding the proposed establishment of Community Services District 2016-2 of the City of Chino and the proposed issuance of bonds within the district. I would like to welcome anyone and declare the public hearing open. The City Council has previously received and reviewed a Community Facilities District Report prepared by Albert A. Webb Associates, Special Tax Consultant to the City, which is hereby entered into the record of this public hearing. At this time, are there any members of the public who would wish to speak on this matter? If so, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and present your comments, and you have 5 minutes to do so.
Mayor, can Rob give his report and then we jump into it?
Okay, we'll do it. Okay, the staff reports by our Director of Finance, Rob Burns.
Good evening, Mayor and members of City Council. On April 19th of this year, the City Council adopted Resolution 2016-032, declaring the City of Chino's intent to establish CFD 2016-2, located north of Eucalyptus between Euclid and San Antonio Boulevards. The establishment of the CFD will allow for the city to levy a facilities tax and a services tax. These taxes will be used to pay for the infrastructure and the public services required in this area. Therefore, it's recommended that the City Council adopt the proceedings as outlined by the mayor this evening. That concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Got this still open for public comment. Anybody wish to address the council on this item? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. At this time, we're ready to approve the following resolutions. Resolution number 2016-041, establishing Community Facilities District number 2016.2 of the City of Chino, authorizing the levy of special taxes and calling the election therein. And Resolution 2016-042, determining the necessity to incur bonded indebtedness within said Community Facilities District and calling an election therein. I would entertain a motion. It's moved by Councilman Duncan. His computer won't work.
Second by.
I'll do it just verbally. Seconded by Councilman Howie. Please vote. Something's wrong with Howie's computer.
Did we pay the bill or?
Okay, we'll do a verbal, City Clerk.
Council members Duncan?
Yes.
Councilmember Howie?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa?
Yes.
Mayor Yates?
Yes, passes 4-0 with Councilman Elrod absent. The resolutions that have been just adopted establish Community Facilities District number 2016-2, authorize the levy of special taxes within the district in accordance with the rate and method of apportionment attached to the resolution of intention as attachment C, determine the necessity to incur bonded indebtedness and call an election within the district, which election is to be held at this time by the city clerk, and the district has received from all owners a taxable property within the district waivers as to the time for holding the election. I will direct the city clerk to conduct a special election and announce the results.
Thank you, Mayor. The ballots have been cast in connection with the election for CFD number 2016-2 of the City of Chino, and the election has now been closed. The results of the election were unanimous, 39 votes in favor of all propositions. Thank you.
City clerk certifying the results of the election, I will now entertain a motion to adopt Resolution 2016-043, certifying the results of the June 7th, 2016 special tax and bond election, and introduce an ordinance 2016-008, authorizing the levy of special tax within the district to be read by number and title only, and waiver the further reading of the ordinance. I would entertain a motion. Let's see if it'll work.
Where's it at?
Mayor, would you like to do a roll call?
Yes, we'll do a roll call. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
motion by?
Me.
Okay,
Seconded by Councilman Howie.
okay, thank you. Councilmember Duncan?
Yes.
Councilmember Howie?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa?
Yes.
And Mayor Yates?
Yes, passes with 4 yes and 1 absent, that being Councilman Elrod. Okay, Jimmy Gutierrez, please.
Yeah, this is ordinance number 2016-008, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, acting in its capacity as the legislative body of the Community Facilities District number 2016-2 of the City of Chino, authorizing the levy of special taxes within the district.
Thank you, Jimmy. Item 14, introduction of ordinance 2016-009, third amendment to the Preserve Development Agreement. Our staff report this evening is by Nicholas Ligori, our Director of Community Development. Nicholas?
Thank you, Mayor and council members. In July 2004, the city approved the Preserve Development Agreement with Chino Holding Company, Chino Development Corporation, and Chino Preserve Development Corporation for the development of over 5,000 acres in the Preserve Specific Plan area. The development agreement was first amended in 2008 and a second time in 2014. This third amendment to the development agreement is proposed to facilitate the change in ownership by a lot line adjustment of a small portion of acreage in the preserve that's roughly between Main Street and East Preserve Loop, immediately south of the Southern California Edison easement. The two areas affected by the change include the addition of a 1.65 acre parcel of land to the area under the development agreement and the removal of a 1.77 acre parcel of land from the development agreement area. These two areas are part of larger parcels that are bisected by the Southern California Edison easement, and the transfer of ownership between these two parcels will facilitate a more logical pattern of development for the future. On May 16, 2016, the Planning Commission determined that this third amendment is consistent with the general plan and the Preserve Specific Plan and recommended the City Council approve the amendment. Staff recommends the City Council conduct a public hearing and approve introduction of ordinance number 2016-009 to be read by number and title only and waive further reading of the ordinance. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Prior to council questions or comment, anybody in the audience wishing to comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa?
Yeah, Nick, does the zoning, is the zoning affected at all by this switch?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? I would entertain a verbal motion. Motion by Councilman Duncan. Seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa. Clerk, will you take the roll call?
Councilmember Duncan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa?
Yes.
Councilmember Howie?
Yes.
Mayor Yates?
Yes. Item passed 4-0 with one absent. Jimmy?
Yes, this is ordinance number 2016-009, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, approving the third amendment to the Preserve Development Agreement.
Thank you, Jimmy. Under new business, item 15, staff report is award of professional service agreement, preliminary traffic model update. The report is given by Assistant City Manager, Public Works Director, Mr. Jose Allaire. Mr. Allaire.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council. In 2003, the Preserve Specific Plan was adopted and incorporated a new traffic model and a traffic study. The traffic model was based on Southern California Associated Governments, or SCAG's, regional traffic model as required by Sandbag. Also in 2010, the Envision Chino 2025 General Plan was adopted in conjunction with the updated transportation element. Now, the general plan traffic model and traffic study reviewed the overall city and analyzed special study areas for the city from a perspective of the transportation network. Since issues such as right-of-way dedications and approvals from local landowners, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Orange County Flood Control District, and Caltrans have proven difficult, staff is proposing to evaluate intersections and roadways to minimize impacts to these agencies and property owners. This new information and analysis will assist staff in planning, designing, and construction of several large transportation improvements on a citywide basis. Now, since Urban Crossroads has extensive experience in providing modeling services for the City of Chino since 2003, staff solicited a proposal from this firm. Staff then negotiated cost and the services and directed a specific process that they are to follow in developing this new traffic model and traffic study. Therefore, it's staff's recommendation that the City Council award a professional services agreement to Urban Crossroads of Irvine, California, for the preliminary traffic model update in the amount of $117,950 and authorize $10 for unanticipated work for a total contract that.
$10?
I'm sorry,
You said $10?
10,000, I'm sorry.
That's the lowest contingency I ever
Yeah,
heard.
We like that.
I gotta slow down. Yeah, no, 10,000.
Okay.
For not to exceed 127,950. So if I got it for $10, that'd be a deal.
I know.
I'm making a motion, we accept
All right, prior to city council questions or comments, I'll open this for public comment. Anybody in the audience wish to address the council on this item? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Any questions? I would entertain a vocal
So moved.
move by Councilman Howie, second by Councilman Duncan. City Clerk, would you take the roll call, please?
Councilmember Howie,
Yes.
Councilmember Duncan,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Uloa,
Yes.
and Mayor Yates.
Yes, item passes forward with one absent.
Still like that $10.
Yeah. Got my $10?
I got my attention, I went,
I'll give you 20.
just for the contract. Item 16, Landscape and Street Light Maintenance District Assessment of Fiscal Year 2016-17. Our report again is by Mr. Jose Allaire. Mr. Allaire.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Now, the city has formed 6 lighting and landscape districts under the 1972 Act of the California Streets and Highway Code. Each year, the city council reviews these districts and holds a public hearing to assess for the assessment rates. District 2002-1 has a CPI escalator, a Consumer Price Index escalator, that allows the city to adjust these rates. This year, the CPI is 1.03%, which results in a slight increase for this district. Now, over the years, the general fund has been subsidizing the lighting and landscape maintenance districts. And to better manage and correct this, staff has created a new fund to track revenues and expenditures of this program. Additionally, staff accepts only streetlights into District 2002-1, which has a CPI escalator and helps us account for the cost increases for this maintenance. Staff also has worked closely with all of our maintenance and tracking all of our maintenance costs in an effort to manage these increases as well. I can tell you, Kurt and Bob have just done a phenomenal job on maintaining these districts with the resources that they have, and they do watch those pennies closely. So with that, staff recommends adopting Resolution 2016-037, directing staff to file the annual report for the districts. Adopt Resolution 2016-038, approving the engineer's report. Adopt Resolution 2016-039, declaring its intention to order improvements to these districts, and schedule a public hearing for July 19th, 2016. That concludes my report on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Allaire. Prior to council comment or questions, anybody in the audience wishing to comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Councilman Duncan?
Jose, eventually these, it's on now?
Yes.
Okay. Eventually these districts that don't have escalators, we're gonna have to go to a Prop 180 election?
218.
218 election. And because it's gonna get more and more subsidized, and it's not fair to the people that have the escalator agreements that we're subsidizing them. Correct.
In order to increase the cost, you are absolutely right. We will have to go to a Proposition 218 vote of the residents to make changes to the districts, and that would be one change that you'd want to do is
Right.
is incorporate an escalator of some type.
And do we have any idea of how long that's gonna be before we have to do that?
We are currently subsidizing these districts in its entirety. The report indicates approximately $327,000 a year. We are still looking at how these revenues are coming in and out, and that's step one. There are certain parcels already that we've done a slight increase to that's allowed to under the code, that we're allowed to do under the code. Once we finish that analysis, Kurt's been working diligently on that. We will be moving a recommendation forward to the city council to take some action, but we need to complete that analysis and see how the costs come in. At the same time, we're outbidding some of the maintenance contracts that support these districts for like the landscaping. We have to wait till those costs come in as
Good.
well.
Okay, because nobody wants to raise rates if we can help it, but, you know, we can't keep going farther and farther in the hole. So, thank you.
We agree, and we're being very cautious with it.
Okay.
Any other comments? I will entertain a verbal motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Duncan,
Second.
second by Councilman Howie. Clerk, will you take the roll call, please?
Councilmember Duncan?
Yes.
Councilmember Howie?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Uloa?
Yes.
Mayor Yates?
Yes, as item passes 4-0 with one absent. Under mayor and council reports, item 17, we'd like to do the ratification of the reappointments of Jim Espinosa, Bernice Gray, and Linda Takahuchi to the Community Services Commission. I would entertain a motion to ratify my request for reappointments.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Duncan and second by Mayor Pro Tem Uloa. City Clerk, will you take a roll call, please?
Councilmember Duncan?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Uloa?
Yes.
Councilmember Howie?
Yes.
Mayor Yates?
Yes, item passes 4-0 with one absent. City Clerk, would you folks, Jim Espinoza, Bernice Gray, and Linda Takeuchi come to the DS up front here? And City Clerk, will you please swear them in? The term on these folks will end June 30th, 2019.
Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
You guys, I'd like you to know, the council and I really appreciate the time and effort you put in serving our community, being on the commission. Thank you very much. You do a great job. Speech. That got rid of him. All right. I would like to let everybody know that the Monte Vista splash pad is set to open June 11th through October 23rd. Open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This will give all families a safe and fun place to be during the hottest months of the year. Proper swimwear is required. Also, I'd like to give another reminder, and this is a real thing everybody ought to get aboard on, is our mobile Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall will be on display June 30th through July 5th at 8 a.m. This memorial will be open to the public 24 hours a day, giving everyone the opportunity to honor and sacrifices made by so many through the duration of the Vietnam War. And for more information about the escort of the wall, as well as the opening ceremony, please visit cityofchino.org, residence/mobile-Vietnam-memorial wall. On June 30th at 10 a.m., there will be a procession from the Chino Police Department down Central Avenue. We will be hauling the wall down there and placing it in Ayala Park. And they'll set it up on the platforms that are being built for it. So everybody's invited if you would like to be in that procession. And then July 1st, we'll have an official opening of that the Vietnam Memorial Wall. And so everybody's invited. Lastly, I just got back prior to the council meeting. Both my granddaughters graduated from Don Lugo High School. And I was privileged to be on the stage to actually hand my two granddaughters their diplomas, which was a real treat. So that was fun. Councilman Howie was with me. He didn't get to do nothing. Yeah.
You
So
didn't have
with,
to sit behind a tree, though.
no, we didn't have to sit behind the tree, and that was it. There were about 440 kids that graduated. But tonight, I think it's Ayala that's gonna be there, or Chino
Yeah.
Hills. Chino High is gonna be there tonight with like, what, 700 kids or something?
Almost 600.
Six?
High five.
High five. But Ayala and Chino Hills have like 700.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But, it was a very nice ceremony, huh?
All those kids are gonna look for jobs.
I don't know if you guys know the principal at Lugo, Dr. Cabrera. I went to the Powder Puff football game, and I was sitting right under the speaker's deal. Neil Derry was announcing the game. He did a great job from National Little League in Pop Warner, Neil. And all of a sudden, this female starts singing the national anthem. I went, it was Dr. Cabrera. She had a beautiful voice. And so tonight, I told Wayne Johnson, I said, Dr. Cabrera probably gonna like it, but he goes, I didn't know she could sing like that. I said, yeah. I think I got Cabrera in trouble. He's gonna have her singing all over the place. She had a beautiful voice. We were all going, wow, you know. She did a great job. The juniors beat the seniors 13-7.
Did they?
And of course, there was a fight at the end, the women's fight.
Oh my
I guess the
gosh.
seniors didn't like losing to
To the juniors?
and the football players were dressed up like cheerleaders. That was funny.
Oh, how funny. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And the wind was blowing, it was cold, and those guys were out there with these skimpy cheered. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa.
Tonight you're having way too much fun, Dennis. He has been goofy all night. I just have two things to report on, and that is on May 20th, I attended the Liberty Court fundraiser, which turned out very nice. It was well attended. Brenda's very proud. She worked very hard. She, the rest of the people on the committee. That's going to be a very, very nice place for people to visit when it's finished. And I'm hoping to have the grand opening, I believe, in November. So that will be nice. And then on May 30th, I also attended the Memorial Day event that was at the community center. And our very own Captain Keith Bissard gave a speech, which was phenomenal. Keith, you did a wonderful job.
Great job.
Yep. Great job. But that was very well attended, and it's very encouraging that each year now more and more people are attending that event.
Finally.
Yeah, which is very nice, because years ago it was just very scantily attended. So it's nice that people are coming out now and remembering those heroes that lost everything to help protect the freedoms that we enjoy and take for granted. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you. I also gave a speech, and I kind of ad-libbed the second part of my speech, is being a Vietnam era veteran. I personally lived through the way we were treated during the Vietnam War. I was, for a while, I was stationed at Amarillo Air Force Base, and the police were harassing us. We'd go off base, they'd pull us over, tear our car apart, you know, and throw stuff in the street, and looking, and they continued to harass us, and because of the Vietnam War, you know, we're baby killers and all that. And our commanding general got fed up with it and locked down the base. He wouldn't allow any of us to spend any money in Amarillo, because the base, we had everything. We had a store, filling station, everything. So for 30 days, if you lived off base, all he allowed you to do was go to your house and come back to work.
No shopping.
You couldn't shop anywhere in Amarillo. And 30 days later, here comes the mayor on his hands and knees, begging the general to undo the embargo, so to speak. And then McNamara closed the base, and I was transferred up to Lowry Field, same thing. They were picketing, you know, the base. And we were under orders. We could not wear a uniform off base. But the haircut gave us away. And the Denver PD were locking up the GIs faster than we could bail them out. And it was, and so that's why I'm so adamant about this Vietnam Wall. They're finally getting their due, because we were not very liked by anybody. And it was kind of a drag. It sure didn't do anything for the morale of the guys serving in that period. And so, so I'm kind of happy. I'm really happy to see that wall come to Chino. So if you can possibly make it, do it. Councilman Duncan.
I was in Amarillo also, and I will never, ever go back there.
Yeah.
That will be the last place I go to.
Well, I tell everybody if they come to get me for another war, there's going to be 3 guys that won't go. Me and the 2 guys they send after me.
All right, on the 20th through the 23rd, Councilman Howie and I attended the International Council of Shopping Centers Real Estate Convention in Las Vegas. We go every year. We talk to people that are looking for property to buy, retail property. They're looking for shopping centers that are not performing up to par that they would like to buy. We talk to retailers, restaurants that we feel would be a good fit for our community, and it's always very, very productive. However, I met with a representative of the Ben Franklin Center, which is down where Mi Ranchito is. He informed us that he'd been with them for 30 days, and he had yet to come up with a deal that they hadn't vetoed. So
They've been doing that since we've been on the
yeah,
council.
it hasn't changed.
Ever since then.
I met with Kimco. That was the last day I was there. It was myself and Chris, our new economic development guy. Not only did we have the real estate broker, but we had the regional vice president and president of Kimco there. They own Chino Town Square, and they own the Albertson Center on Central Avenue.
Country Fair.
Country Fair, yep. And they informed us that Chino Town Square was the worst property they had out of 600 and some properties. That they wouldn't even put money into it to paint the center. They were that lack of or unresponsive to our request for it. They do want to move the watchmaker that's there, one of the few viable businesses that's in there. They want to move him to a different location so they can knock down that building, the building where C's Candy used to be, and they also want to knock down the building where Active used to be. So they think that'll improve visibility and it'll help the center. And I think what would help the center is to get some good tenants in there. Every year they tell us they're fully leased, they're just waiting for people to move in, and it never, ever seems to happen. And but we meet with them every year. We do everything we can to get them to move, and it doesn't seem to help. So then on the 23rd, when I came back, I ran a vector control meeting, and of course the big topic right now is the Zika virus. So I want to give you kind of an update of the Zika virus. This was first discovered in 1947 in the Zika forest of Uganda. 1947 is when most of us up here, about the time we were born. So that's how long it's been around. In 2016, we have 52 imported cases in the state of California, imported human cases. West Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District, we have 1 human case in our district. This is, by imported, means that they caught it somewhere else and they've come back to our county. We have 3 human cases in the county. We have 66 cases in the United States as a whole, and there's 1 case in Brownville, Texas that was actually transmitted from human to human. So one of the things that these mosquitoes that do this, these are spread by the invasive Andes mosquito, which is the yellow fever mosquito, and the Asian tiger mosquito. These are both found all over Southern California. One of the issues that we're concerned about is, like with West Nile virus, which is carried by the same mosquitoes, we are the end location for that virus. With the Zika virus, you could be infected with that virus and be bitten by a mosquito, and that mosquito would become infected with the Zika virus and could spread it to other people. It can also be spread through contact, human-to-human contact. And it's extremely dangerous for pregnant women or women that expect to be pregnant in the next 6 months to a year. We're not really sure of that. We're not sure how long this virus will still affect the baby coming forward. The most people that get affected by it get mild symptoms, causing them a few days to a week of discomfort. About 80% of the people that get bitten by mosquitoes that are positive for this don't show any symptoms at all. Kind of like with West Nile virus. You could get bitten by a mosquito that was infected by West Nile virus, and you might not become symptomatic at all. So, and as I said before, the infection in pregnancy can lead to birth defects and other defects. Zika virus is found mainly in Mexico, Caribbean countries, Central America, South America, and the Pacific Islands. West Valley Mosquito and Vector District is we're in contact with neighboring vector control districts as well as the State Department of Public Health for vector-borne disease section on the invasive Andes mosquito surveillance. So we're watching for them. We've adopted molecular testing procedures for detecting the Zika virus in mosquitoes. Our labs at our facility over off of Grove and Locust are state-of-the-art. Our labs, I would venture to say our labs are better than the state of California has. So far this year, we've tested 1,000 mosquito samples, and we've had 7 positive mosquito in our district. San Diego at the same time, San Diego County has had 38 positive mosquito samples. So this is going to be a bad year for West Nile virus as well as the Zika virus. So we want to encourage everybody to make sure if they're outside in the evening or in the morning, make sure you have long sleeves and cover yourself up and use DEET wipes. We pass them out at the concerts in front of City Hall, but you can get them at the store. Just make sure that they have DEET in them, and that will help protect you from getting bit by the mosquitoes. So, and I think that's the end of my report.
Eunice?
Glenn, I don't know if it was brought up at your meetings or not, but they're discovering that these mosquitoes don't just bite dawn and dusk.
Yeah.
That they're finding them now that they bite 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So,
Some of the Asian type of mosquitoes, yeah.
right. So it's the scary thing is that you can get bit at any time by one of these, and there's a possibility that it could be spread. So people right now are kind of taking the whole attitude that it's not that big of a deal. But if you see any of the reports on parents who have had a child that has been affected by the Zika virus, it's very, very dangerous. So we do need to take it serious.
We did our aerial surveillance over the northern part of our district, Rancho Cucamonga and northern Ontario and parts of Montclair. And in one day, we found 700 and some pools that were not treated, that were potential breeding sites for mosquitoes.
But it's worse than the pools, Glenn.
I know, all it takes is a dog dish. A little puddle of water can breed mosquitoes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Pretty scary stuff.
Councilman Howard, you still with us?
I'm here. Yeah, I was going to say that, lots of times you leave your screen door open for let a pet outside or whatever. You can't even do that because if the mosquitoes get in the house, they don't care if it's morning or night. Yeah. And nothing worse than laying in bed and all of a sudden you hear something go buzzing by you in the middle of the night. That's enough to drive you crazy. But you have to be careful. Don't leave your screen doors or slider doors open. Because you're just inviting mosquitoes to come in your house.
And these are tinier than normal mosquitoes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, I'm always ready for my report. Is he done with his report?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Time for my report. Very good. As far as, first of all, Dennis, your talk at the Memorial Day service, I think it was the best one you've ever gave. It was really, really good. In fact, all the speakers were excellent. And with the crowd that we had, it was just the weather was perfect. It couldn't have been any better, I think, for an event. And I'm looking forward again to next year to a Memorial Day event. Hopefully more of the public will come out. And it's only, maybe a little less than an hour. And it's a good Monday morning event to attend. As far as the shopping center convention that Glenn was talking about, we it was a lot of activity this year. There seems like to be a lot of people out looking at different centers and stuff like that. So we had some good conversation with a lot of those companies, and we had a new booth, and the booth looked very good. We had a lot of comments about how nice our booth looked, and as far as our city manager, Matt, hopefully maybe you can prepare a report that we could have on the consent calendar detailing more about our the convention that we attended a couple weeks ago. That would be great if you wouldn't mind doing that. Also, I attended the Pizza and Politics, which is the chamber puts on. That was on the 26th, and we had a very important speaker. It happened to be Matt Ballantyne, our city manager. He was talking about the new districting.
Yeah, I know he knows about pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Give your talk on pepperoni or sausage.
That's one way to,
Jalapenos.
right. One way to get him there was to offer pizza, so that worked out good. But he gave an excellent description of how the districting is going to work, and I think he pretty much, there wasn't too many questions except for maybe Bruce Wood had a few, but you gave a good description. I think everybody who was there, maybe about 30 people, got a good education on our districting situation. Also on last week on the 2nd, Jose O'Leary and David Crosley and I attended the new CDA expansion, Plant 3 third expansion, and that thing isn't quite ready yet, but it's going to be operational hopefully in the next couple of months, and it was out at Europa Community Services District out there, and it's a big facility. Wow, it's really big, and hopefully that's going to provide additional drinking water to our area, and looking forward to seeing that thing up and running. It was had a nice event there. And then also on the graduation tonight for Don Lugo, both my kids went to Don Lugo, and I was the Interact advisor there with our Rotary Club for many years. And I hadn't attended one for a while, but I was really happy I went, because it's just great to see 400 young people, so excited to get those diplomas. You forget, it kind of takes you back to when you were in high school. Although
I think the parents are more excited than the kids.
Oh,
They
the
were
parents were
yelling
great,
whistling,
and Dennis was pretty panicked because he didn't know which side his grandkids were coming up on, because they come up on both sides. So he was kind of doing this. He was kind of checking to see which way to make a move. But it was.
If I hadn't done that, I'd have never heard the end of that from my wife.
There was a lot.
As long as I lived.
I didn't have any pressure. I just had to sit there and smile.
Watch me
He had the
panic.
pressure to hand that diploma to his grandkids, but it worked out really well. And it's just great to see the kids and going through after 4 years getting their diplomas, and it was exciting. It was very good. So that's about it.
Thank you. City manager, anything to report?
I have nothing to add, Mayor.
City attorney, Mr. Gutierrez. Captain Bassard's standing in for the chief. Captain. Anybody? I didn't see anybody from the fire department. Oh, there he is. Oh,
The chief.
you're hiding behind
Chief.
Jim. Okay. We will stand adjourned. I want to tell you, we are adjourning tonight's city council meeting in the memory of the late Inland Empire Utilities Agency board member, Gene Koopman, as well as former Chino Valley Unified School District board member, Lonnie Truett. I knew both of those gentlemen personally. Gene Koopman was a big Dutchman, great big old boy, just like a big old teddy bear, and knew his business about water, and plus he was a great guy. And then Lonnie, he was a real character. Not that I don't. That's why me and Lonnie got along. We got along pretty good. We were both crazy. So we're closing in the memory of both of these gentlemen, and they're really and sorely going to be missed. We missed Lonnie when he left. He went to the river. Carol's here, Lonnie's wife. It's really good to see you. Are you moving back to? Yeah, it was. I was sorry to see you guys move out to the river, but I'm really glad to see you. You're looking great. You're looking real good. But both of these gentlemen made a huge commitment to our community, and they brought their background and their expertise to our community, to the school districts and to the water districts and what have you, and they're sorely going to be missed. We will stand adjourned to the next regular council meeting on Tuesday, June 21st, 2016 at 7 p.m. Closed session necessary at 6 p.m. You all drive safely and have a good evening. We stand adjourned.